All right, so we are headed to a new gym. Actually, not a new gym, an old gym. So I'm at school, so I've got 3 gyms at my disposal. Technically 4, but I haven't really gone to that other one. I don't know, I think I should actually look into it. It's pretty close. But I've got the school rec center, which is pretty good. A lot of machines. All the boys are there. Honestly, that's the college rec center. That is the gym which I have had the highest concentration of dogs. Like dudes who every day I actually go up to, dap them up. I want to know what their lift is. I want to know how their pump's going. Shit like that. That is just nice. That is really cool to have. And if you've got a gym like that with a lot of regulars, and maybe you haven't been chatting with them that much, maybe your gym is pretty kind of quiet. Everybody does their workout, they have their headphones in, and that's the end of it. I think you're missing out. You should go up to them, say some shit. I mean, if your gym's full of, I don't know, just people who really don't want you to fuck with them, then, well, you never know until you try. Maybe you go up to them, hey man, what are you hitting, dude? You're sitting on a bench next to them on the free weights. Hey man, maybe they're just a yapaholic, but they saw you had headphones in, they didn't want to talk to you. I guess I'm really just saying it's cool when you actually know the dudes or the girls. I'm not going to disparage who you're lifting around, but yeah. So that's the college rec center. Pretty good amount of machines, cool bars, racks, cables, whatever. Can be a little bit packed though. Can be a little bit packed. But it's like 2 minutes away from where I live. Very good benefit. I always go there for cardio in the morning, unless I'm really busy and I want to, just do cardio in the basement. Well, the first floor of the apartment on a little cardio bike. So that's gym number 1. Gym number 2 is, well, it's pretty much right next to this one that I'm headed to, Planet Fitness. Nothing wrong with Planet Fitness. I don't know, I just haven't gone to Planet Fitness for a while. The one, yeah, it gets a little bit hit or miss for me sometimes, because if a Planet Fitness is full, like if it's, 6 o'clock p.m. or like 6 or 5 or, whatever, and they're actually busy, then, if you're going to bust out your tripod, you're actually asking for trouble. Maybe not legit trouble, but, I've been shut down at Planet Fitnesses before. Not that they're being mean, I mean, it's just like, it's not necessarily their targeted demographic at a Planet Fitness, a fucking approaching a freak just walking around with a tripod talking to himself. I can understand it. But usually they're pretty cool. But Planet Fitness, depending on the lift, I actually don't mind it. I'd say Planet Fitness is perfect, absolutely perfect for arms. Arms at Planet Fitness as well as shoulders, perfect gym. Back, pretty good too. Lat pull down, cable rows, a variety of back machines too. Smith machines, you can do some bent over rows if you want. Back, pretty solid. Chest gets a little bit more constrained because you've got the only heavy pressing movement you got at your disposal is the incline Smith. Sometimes I want to do incline dumbbell. They've only got 75s. Now, if that's within your working weight range, good for you. You can make as many gains at Planet Fitness as you want. But I definitely think you can kind of outgrow it chest-wise. But, if I like incline Smith on that day, and then I just want to do some pec deck and cable flies and cable presses, it's perfect. Legs is pretty good there too. Usually they've got a seated and a laying hamstring curl, plus leg extensions. If I want, I'll do Smith machine squats, but sometimes I just kind of spam the leg extension, superset it with body weight sissy squat combo. It's kind of a classic leg day that I like. So yeah, so enough of that. That's pretty good. This gym as well, pretty good. Tons of old equipment. They're actually adding some new shit. I think there's a lot of stuff that's kind of in the works Like there's new racks that are being added, but they kind of have to like fuck with the ceiling tiles because it's like a rogue rack system, so it's kind of gonna cut into the ceiling. I guess maybe somebody should have measured that out. I think there's a hack squat there now too. Maybe I should actually head over here more often. But another huge benefit, 24 hours, 24-hour operation. So for me on days like today where, oh my goodness, I think I brought this up before. I am totally sick. My system is totally infected with something. You know, I don't feel like shit or anything, but I can like just feeling, dude, lymph nodes. That's a blueberry. That is a blueberry in there for sure. I've got some kind of something messing with me. I can tell it's making me more lethargic. So I definitely get a lot of rest today. Apart from class and a little bit of schoolwork, it was mainly get up, eat, back to bed. Eat, back to bed. Not like dead asleep. Of course, I was just playing on my phone. But yeah, I definitely want to get over this. If it doesn't clear up in a couple days, I'll just get some antibiotics or something. I kind of feel like this is probably stupid, but I feel like I kind of want to just let my body fight it off on its own. It's like, don't give me the medicine. I don't want it. I can handle it. But that might be that just might be a brutish guy thing, and maybe I'd be better off with a little bit of some kind of something. I don't know what antibiotics are called. But other than that, oh fuck, what was I even about to say? Yeah, 24 hours, lots of good equipment, old school vibe. This one's pretty good. I'm sure it'll be nice to be in here just because it's been a while. It'll have a little bit of nostalgia factor. I think I haven't gone here in a few months. Another added benefit of going to different gyms is there's just different cliques, you know? Like I'll run into different people. People I see at this gym, I never see at the College Rec Center. And same thing with the Planet Fitness. I will say I'm definitely more likely to run into cooler people at more serious gyms and not as much at like a P-Fit. Not saying it doesn't happen though, I'm just kind of making a little bit of an observation. But oh, I haven't even talked about what the lift is going to be. It's back. So for back, I am planning on doing a lift which will follow the following, let's just say it'll hit the following criteria. I want to do some lighter, not lighter, but like moderate weight rows on either the seated cable or a machine and really squeeze. Like I can tell a lot of my rows, I do lift a lot of weight and I have a ton of tension on my lats, which I do like. Like I like a set of cable rows where I'm throwing around the whole stack and I'm just destroying my back and I'm getting to the point where I can barely do any partials. I really do like that. I feel like it gives me a lot of fatigue, you know, a lot of tension, partials in the stretched position, right? Let me try to think of a couple other buzzwords that make it sound cool. But, you know, a really heavy set with partials, I like those. But I definitely noticed that my back gets more pumped, or at least I get a decent pump for sure when after maybe a few sets like that, where I really load up the weight, load up a ton of tension on whatever I'm hitting. If after that I back off on weight a little bit and really focus on squeezing, like I could do 2 sets of pull downs where, you know, I throw the whole stack around, like add a plate, add like as much weight as I can do for, you know, 15 reps, maybe 5 partials at the end, and then go lighter and really squeeze. Like it almost feels, I'm trying to think of a cool way to describe it. It's like when I do, it's probably easiest to think of a dumbbell curl. You know, if you're sitting here with whatever weight for curls, you can do the motion. You know, you can go from back and forth like this. But with a lot of my reps, especially with the lighter sets where I'm trying to focus on squeezing, I want to do the rep, of course, but when I get to the squeezed position, you know, for a bicep curl, it would be here. For a row or pull down, it'd be back here. Leg extensions, it would be when my leg is fully straightened. Right? When I get to that fully contracted position, I want to get a little extra squeeze, just a little extra push. Even if it doesn't look like I'm actually moving the weight any further, that extra little squeeze is noticeably going to affect the pump that I get. Plus, the sets just feel more fatiguing. Not that I want to make my sets as difficult as possible for difficulty's sake, but if I do a set of dumbbell curls to failure, right? Let's say I go as heavy as I can go, and I don't try to squeeze it on top, maybe I could get 15 reps, just kind of throwing the weight around. But if I be a little bit more methodical with it, and I get that extra squeeze on top, and I get that extra squeeze every rep, then maybe I'll hit failure at 10 reps, you know? So you gotta think, those reps are more effective. Each one is doing more damage. I'm expending more energy because I hit failure quicker, you know? That's kind of making me think that I want to chill out on my really heavy, quick sets of bench. I noticed this a couple chest days ago. Usually, I work up to my top set with the warm-ups, and then that first set is the first set really heavy, and I'm just throwing it around, and I get a ton of tension on my pecs. I mean, I'll start to get pumped up after 2 sets, but I definitely noticed that I really like the feeling of doing, a couple of working sets on incline Smith and going real slow and controlled. So, not that I think that is, guaranteed a better method, but it definitely adds to the idea that I want my training to be diverse. I don't want each lift to be the same as the last one. Not only in exercise selection, but, in set execution, right? Like, even if I did, so let's say I did the same back day, next back day. 2 sets of pull downs, 2 sets of machine rows, a set of pullover, and then another kind of row. Right? Let's say I do all those lifts today with as much weight as I can handle, just throw it all around, right? That's cool. Now let's fast forward to the next back day. I can do the same, oh my goodness, exercise selection, right? The same pull downs, rows, pullovers, other row, whatever. But if rather than throwing around the weight as like the main, variable that I'm trying to max out, instead I go a little bit more conservative with the weight and focus on really squeezing as hard as possible, I would consider that a totally different lift. Even if the reps were, the same. Even if I did 12 reps with a lighter weight really squeezing, or I did 12 reps with a heavy weight kind of throwing it around, just by doing it in that different way, I would consider that a completely different back day, So I guess really what I'm trying to say is make sure you change your shit up at least a little bit. Not that I think you have to shock the muscle, and like if you zoomed in on my freaking lats, they would say to you, holy, I've never done this before, fuck, I'm gonna grow. Oh, he's shocking me. Not that I think that exactly, but, it would make sense. The whole point of your body, I mean, as a species, we're pretty fucking up there in terms of adapting to stress. So if you do the same workout with the same intensity and the same reps and the same weight day after day, you're not going to make any gains from that, because you're going to reach a point in your build where, okay, I'm used to this, I can handle this. This is just normal, right? Like the dude who just fucking wakes up every day, who does his business, comes back home, he's not making any gains because he's not stressing his system. The whole point of going into the gym and doing your little workout is to fucking give your body a stimulus where it says, holy shit, I gotta deal with this. I gotta go home, sleep, and put all this shit back together. And fuck, if he's gonna keep hitting my lats like this, I better toughen him up, make him bigger and stronger so they can handle it. Obviously, it's not like your lats are thinking like that, but that's a pretty good way to visualize it in your mind. I almost feel like that's kind of a motivating factor. Like even just thinking about it now, it's like I almost want to go into the gym and think to myself, all right, I want to hit my lats as differently and as crazily as I ever have before, to ensure that once I go home and get to bed, that they're going to have to do some serious recovering, So whatever you got to do, whatever you have to think about to get into that zone of wanting to demolish whatever muscle you're going to target that day, do it. Watch some Gojo hype TikTok edits, get in the zone, and say, "Holy shit, come on!" and then do whatever you're gonna do. So, still a couple of minutes out, but let's just get over there and get started. I already know that the gym is gonna be completely dead, which sometimes I like, sometimes I don't like. It's been a while since I've been in an empty gym, so I'm sure I'm going to take advantage of having all the equipment at my disposal. But that's all I got, man. Let's get started.